Hi, everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and we are live in the new place. For those of you who don't know, I am in the process of cleaning up. I'm in the process of moving. I'm in an empty house with no furniture except for a futon. But I thought you'd all like to know that the very first thing that came to the house was my computer, and the very first installation that I had was Wi-Fi. And it was like, I guess I know what's important to me. And today is smile time. For those of you who might not be regulars, let me just explain. We are a group of extended family that get together 3 times a week, and we talk about how to cope with our lives better. And Jody, just in case you missed it, yes, I have got it. I had to go back to the old house to get the whiteboard. I forgot it. Anyway, but we get together 3 times a week to talk about how to cope with life a little bit better. For example, at lunchtime today, we were talking about debt and how to get out of it, and how to change your mentality around it. And so we do what we call a skills broadcast Friday lunchtime Pacific time. And then Friday evenings, we try to laugh a bit. And boy, are you going to laugh at me today. And then that's 7 o'clock Pacific every week. And then on Sundays at 3:30, we do a session that we call Soul Sunday, where we try and calm it down a bit and just try and get ourselves regrouped, ready for the week. Now, as you can see, I'm in the kitchen, or part of the kitchen, and the bit that you can't see is all this bit, because I've got the computer in a cupboard. But I just want to tell you that at lunchtime when we did the broadcast, I have witnesses here to prove this, that even in winter, with snow on the skylight, the light in here was so intense that my transition started to transition. What is it going to do in the summer, people? We'll find out. Anyway, so today, just before I start, I wanted to ask for some thoughts and prayers. I will put it up on Facebook. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, please follow us on Facebook and Twitter. That's where I will let you know. I normally give you about a 30-minute warning that we're going to do a broadcast, but also, particularly on Facebook, that's where I keep you up to date with the family, our extended family. And just so that those of you who know Pat and Bill's brother is at an end-of-life situation at the moment. And I thought that, I will put up thoughts and prayers for the family in a moment after the broadcast. But the other thing is they're expecting 18 inches of snow tonight. It is a regional disaster coming down. Imagine that, 18 inches coming down in one night. Pretty scary, right? All right, so have any of you been watching the videos this week? Because I have tried, 31 inches of snow. No, I think it was 31 inches of snow? Okay, Jody's correcting me. Yeah, even worse, twice as much. All right, so for those of you who might have been watching the vlogs this week, let me know what made you laugh the most, because I've got a lot of reminders here about the week, and what amazes me is how long it is in such a short time. Hi, Erin, good to see you. And sort of hi, Jamie and Isabel. And Isabel, I hope you're safe in your part of the world. And obviously, hi to Jody. Anyway, so can I ask you, what have you enjoyed most on the videos? And I want to tell you that it's been like, I got to tell the people about that. They're going to want to know that that happened to me. So I'm going to go down the list and you let me know what you enjoyed. First of all, did you see the bit about the orange tree? We're calling her Origina, or Origina, I think. Origina, right? For those of you who don't know, let me show you her. Okay, now there's a long story. When I first came to the house, they said the keys will be under the red pot. Now, I don't know about you, but that isn't red to me. Never mind. So then when I arrived, this red pot had fallen over. So the keys were there for anybody to actually, hi, Joanne, good to see you, for anybody to pick up the keys and go to the house. Never mind. But the thing was, the reason it had blown over is because it was so light. And, I went there and I thought, gosh, they haven't watered that thing, so I should water it. So I quickly, before I even did anything, went and got some water and poured it in. And then I was thinking about it later and I thought, I wonder if it was real. Because, they make pretty good looking fake trees these days. So I came back and I felt it. And I went, no, it's not even real. Until about 12 hours later, where I happened to notice when I was going in and out, I happened to notice this attached to it. And I realized I had left this out in minus 12 degrees, whatever that is, Jody. I think it's about 15 degrees Fahrenheit. I'd left it out without water. So we're doing thoughts and prayers that it survives. I won't be taking bets that it will, but we're hoping that it will. At the moment, I was going to tell you that 3 leaves are dropped off, but it's now 4 because as I moved it, another one fell. So I'll put her back again. We'll be doing updates regularly on her. Bless you. Okay. All right, so let's do this. Did any of you see the vlogs about Mickey and maybe Minnie? And if so, you will know that Houston, I have a problem. So not the first night, I think it was the second night. First of all, I came here just to drop off some things and stay for a little while. That's what I thought. Minus 12 degrees is 10 degrees Fahrenheit. I was close. Thank you, Jody. She's so good, isn't she? For those who don't know, Jody is our admin, and she looks after me like a mother. It's amazing. Anyway, so I came here, thinking I was going to be here for a day, just overnight sort of thing, maybe 2. So I brought quite a bit of stuff with me, including, luckily, food, including, luckily, a whole big 12-pack of toilet paper, and including, other sort of things. And the next thing I know, I got snowed in. When I say I was snowed in, I couldn't open the doors of my Jeep. They were absolutely frozen solid. So I couldn't get out even if I wanted to. Yeah, Erin's saying that in my house she thinks Origina might survive. Well, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure about that, Erin, but I love your confidence. Thank you so much. I was also talking with Pat at lunchtime about the fact that because this is a manufactured home, so this is sort of a cross between a trailer and a bricks and mortar home. This is 1,200 square feet of manufactured home. So it's, quite a big place. But like a trailer, if any of you are camping people, but when it's fine until you open a cupboard. And the cupboard, when you open it, is really cold. So there isn't a lot of insulation in the cupboard area. So, I'm going to make a plan about that. Pat, I did put out, I don't know if you heard me, but I did put out thoughts and prayers for Bill's brother, whose name I have forgotten. Charles, was it? No? Charlie, I think. Anyway, so that is one thing. The other thing is I am so grateful for the fact that I knew how to how to bake bread, because I would have been completely lost. I didn't bring bread with me, but I did bring flour. So I was able to make bread, and I was showing everybody at lunchtime. I brought the flour, but I didn't bring anything to bake bread in. So I was doing it in, I haven't got the small one, but the small mason jar. And, there we have a little loaf of bread. And if you cut it this way, it makes perfect little rounds for having cheese on or whatever. And Jody, I want to tell you, all the time I was doing these things, I'm going, oh, she's going to love this. I MacGyvered something else and she's going to love this. Now then, I don't think any of you know this story. I think it was the second morning. No? Or maybe it was the second morning. I got, I've been sleeping on the futon, which I haven't worked out how to put it down. So I've been sleeping on the small part of the futon. And then I decided maybe I should have a shower. It was the first morning. I decided to have a shower. That was it. And so I got in the shower, and that was good. And, the shower, quite honestly, was gross. I'm certain you've all been there and seen that. And what I couldn't understand was how the shower door got so grungy, right? And I didn't realize that I was quite as clean as apparently I am, because that really grossed me out, along with a bit of mold on the on the corking. And so so what I did is I found some scrubbing bubbles that I had with me, and I used that. And then what I did was I put the shower on so that it could steam up everything and loosen it a bit. The only thing was, because in my other house, you can see the shower because it's a clear glass door. I didn't notice that the shower was on when I left the house. And I went to my old house, and I was there for an hour or two packing up stuff and loading up the car. And when I came back, I went, what's that noise? And I went, oh, I guess I left the shower on. Didn't help the dirty stuff at all. All right, so Jodie's saying, Sal, the vlogs have been enjoyable. I admit I was in shock seeing you shovel snow in runners with no socks. Well, this was the other thing. It was like, I know I've got snow boots, but where are they? I thought they were in the car. They might still be in the car. I still haven't found them. But Jodie, I did find them. I did find my my sheepskin. Hang on a second. All right, so it's just so that you guys know, this is honest to God truth. I was out shoveling snow in these. And they worked incredibly well. By the way, in bare feet in these, because I had put my socks in the wash. I only brought one pair of socks with me, and I threw them in the wash with some stuff. And so I was out trying to shovel snow in those. And I have to tell you, they kept my feet so toasty, and my feet didn't get wet. Oh, Erin, like the zero. Yep, remind me about the zero filter thing as well. By the way, would any of you like to know would like to hear my new alarm clock? I know. Isabel, I hope that Regina survives as well. I am praying. I'm talking to her every day to make sure she lives. Okay, so would you like to hear my new alarm clock? Because I'll set it now. I've got a new 15-minute timer. It also acts as my early morning alarm clock. I will set it. Okay, so I'll let you know when it goes off. Oh, Pat, I was warning them about your amount of snow coming in. So, be careful there. How thick is my futon mattress? I don't know. Wait, I can tell you. Wait 1 second. It is 6 inches of solid, hard foam. Is this important? So about the no socks thing, I don't have any choice. I have to go and shovel snow, and I don't have socks. So, but it worked. The thing was, I was not stepping into snow. I did that today, by the way, when I went back to my old house, but you'll see that picture. But, I didn't have a choice. I needed to shovel the driveway because I had the guy coming to do the internet stuff. And, he wasn't going to come in if he couldn't get into the house. They're a bit funny like that. Oh, Jody, I remembered the mug. So today I went to go and find my boots, and Jody, I thought you'd be so proud of me because I found nice, big, warm, woolly shearling boots, except my feet are swollen so much I can't get into them. But then, how many of you remember Judy giving me these for a birthday or Christmas present, the Uggs? So I also found those, and I can wear those, but what I found is after a while, my feet are so swollen that even they were uncomfortable. Oh, this isn't a separate mattress. This is actually a couch that drops down, but it's sort of futon type couch. Are you talking about a straw futon mattress? You know what I really recommend? Uggs and mugs. Yeah, why are my feet swollen? Because I have water retention going on, and I can't take the diuretic because the diuretic, I can't leave my house if I take the diuretic. So I'm going to start taking half a one a day. I've just got to because I've just swollen up too much. Anyway, onwards. So did any of you see the vlog when I talked about the oven? The oven is quite something. The house was beautifully clean in the obvious places, but then I opened up the oven, and that was horrific. Again, I didn't know that I have the cleanest oven in the business that I've just left. And so to come to an oven that is caked with, caked with grease, it was just like, yikes. I still haven't attended to it because I've been doing snow stuff, but it is just like, yikes, and all the grills in it are horrible. It's going to take me a long time. Yes, your mom would have died. And I want to tell you something. She probably would have died to see Mickey go running from under the oven yesterday to the dishwasher, which is there. No, which is over there. So yeah, it's a so I've had 2 days where I've seen Mickey or Minnie. I'm not sure if it's the same one or whether it's two different ones, but they are here. So, and I'm going, I paid how much money for this? Can any of you relate to that? It's just like, seriously? Now, the Wi-Fi was a challenge, but I got it in and it's working. And so I'm happy. And I hope you guys are as well. The cable went in yesterday. And, I was saying to the cable guy that, that he must be able to write a book on people. So I said, I'm a YouTuber and I have viewers that would love to know from you what your view of people is from doing the job that you do. And I said, because I was talking to my viewers about the fact that we all seem to keep our routers in the dustiest, dirtiest places you can think of. And he said, yes, it's amazing, isn't it? That you've got a piece of electrical equipment and you hide it in a place where you can never dust it. And so he was very, what he was saying to me, he said, you cannot believe how stupid people are. I thought that was interesting. He said, that's the biggest thing for me. It's like, you cannot believe how stupid some people are. And I went, well, I probably could. And then he said, and how some of them are really nice and some of them, not so much. And the other thing he said is you would be horrified to see how people live. I said, yeah, I probably would. But how many of you can understand that the reason I wanted to come into the house a month early was to get all that set up before all the furniture went in? Because otherwise you end up putting all the furniture in and then you're trying to put the cable in or you're trying to get the TV set up or whatever, and you've got to move everything again. No, not a good idea. So now my internet is all set up. I'm the only person that's got cable television in every room. I'm going to have a television in my kitchen. Always wanted a television in my kitchen. Anyway, so I've got literally cables in every room and no television because it's still at the other house. All right, now then, how many of you saw the? How many of you saw me talking about the washing machine? It's got to be the biggest washing machine I have ever seen in a private house. And I actually took measurements because I didn't think you guys would believe me if I told you. So I'm going to show you. The tub that can't be true, so seriously? No, I gotta go measure again. Hang on a second. All right, so the tub is that deep. Now, that is really deep for a tub, okay? And then it is that wide. How many of you going, seriously? I'll go and measure it again just to be sure. That is how wide the tub is. You could basically get in, press the button, and have a wash. So here's the thing. This is really clever. I'm 5'6". That's quite a decent height. But I want to tell you to lean over and get to the stuff at the bottom of that. What did I say? 22 inches. You know, you're leaning down over the, it starts here and you've got to lean over and go all the way to, yeah. I don't know if you saw the thumbnail today. Hi there, Nada. I don't know if you saw the thumbnail today, but, I thought that was very keeping of what's happening to me. And hi, Nana. I'm trying to imagine, barbecue tongs would work. Great idea. Absolutely great idea. So that was one thing. Now, the other thing is this huge tub, and I put clothes in it, and I can only get this much water into it. And I'm going, what's the point of having a dirty, great tub like that if you only have this much water in it? It's taken me 2 days, like any new appliance. How many of you relate to this? You've got to keep talking to it until the two of you make sense. I'm beginning to understand. I did a trick today. You know what? I tricked it. It didn't know that I was playing with it today. What I did was I went, what if it thought it had more clothes in it? Would it fill it up higher? So what I did is I put it on a soak cycle, got all the clothes wet so they were heavy, then turned it off momentarily, and then put it back on again to wash. And guess what? It filled the tub right up. Halfway. I went, oh, not as stupid as I look. But, it's like, do I want to be doing that every day? Probably not. So I'm going to keep playing with it. In fact, the owner is coming tomorrow. and I'm going to get her to show me how she was using it. Because, did you hear my alarm clock? How many of you heard that? I've got this thing set to make ice at 8:00 in the morning. And that's what wakes me up. It's my ice maker. Do you want to see the ice? Anyway, but it's an amazing size machine. Some of you might have seen the vlog where I showed you, I put in a comforter, a throw rug, and that was a wool one. It was a boiled wool throw rug, as well as, a complete outfit and, and tea towels and everything. And it just like, it still had this much room at the top. It was just amazing. Of course, I had to keep going around and physically turning the comforter over, but I'll find the answer. I think I've got it now. Nada's saying the ice maker sounds will scare off burglars and the mice. Right, but if I left it on all night, I wouldn't get any sleep because I'm not joking. It wakes me up at 8:00. I go, oh, right, ice maker time. Is the ice maker expensive? No, I went onto Amazon and I found one that was reconditioned. And it turns itself off, Nada. And by the way, you remember in the vlog where I initially showed you the thing that was on day one, I said it was meant to be hooked up. Well, it isn't. What I found out, hang on a second, Nana, I'll finish the story, and if I don't, just remind me. But what I found out is that little doodad at the back isn't to plumb it in. It is when you want to clean it, you can undo that and it'll drain everything out, which is very clever. What does recondition mean? It means that they sent it out to somebody and somebody didn't like it and they sent it back. Then they double check it, repack it, and then you get it at a much better price. So I think this thing, did you see it, Nana? Or did you? I just want to know if you saw it in the vlog. I think I ended up paying about $180 for it. But okay. Please show us. Okay, fine. It's not light. Got it? It's going back. got water and ice and it's heavy. But it makes these bullet sort of shaped weightlifting exercises, yeah. Ice cubes. So okay, so it actually is very nice. I know, but it's me, Pat. You know, I'm going, I cannot live with a fridge that doesn't have an ice maker in it and filtered water, which gets us onto the filtered water thing that Erin was talking about. Did any of you not see the zero water experiment I did? Yeah, Pat, Pat, I'm gonna, you need one of those for when you go camping. And when I start getting this place socialized, which apparently it isn't at the moment, but it's going to be, when I get it socialized, I'm going to visit people with my ice maker. I'm going to go to the local function or whatever and take the ice maker with me. And Jody was saying I can then walk in going, the ice maker cometh. I thought that was cute. I just dropped water here. So the zero water, did everybody see the zero water experiment? Because I didn't actually believe it. And, I've seen the ads. I've seen the ads and I went, yeah, right. And I'm going to fool it, So what I did is I took tap water and I took the other zero water after it had been filtered, and I tried it, and you can't know, can it? There's no way. I kept trying to think, how could they rig this? They don't know which one I'm going to put it in, therefore it must work, and it did. It was really interesting to me. Nana's saying Rick owes me an ice maker. When I bought my fridge here, he said, "Oh, you can't hook them up." 3 months later, a neighbor got a new fridge with an ice maker, and guess who hooked it up for them? Yeah, somebody called Rick, I'm sure. Anyway, so Nana, I want to tell you, it really is noisy. That's the only disadvantage of it. So as long as you're just letting it make ice during the day, but it does a great job. I want to tell you, it creates that many ice cubes every 15 minutes. So whoever that's saying, you can make ice ahead of time and take it with you. I've got full, I got 4 backup bags in the freezer. So amazing. Every 15 minutes. Yeah, I know. A bag full. Pretty impressive, huh? Okay, it's about the nails. I don't know if you've been noticing, but they are suffering. So this one had a problem. This one just had a problem today. This one's been having a problem. That one had a problem. This one had a problem. And this one. Yeah, moving is not good for my nails. Okay, so did any of you see the vlog where I talked to the neighbor? There happened to be a neighbor out doing some snow removal, and I actually, was driving my car past him, so I stopped, being me, and I said, "Hi, neighbor. I'm just moving into number," and I thought I'd say hello, and he said, "Hi," and we chit-chatted a little bit, and I said, one of the things I'd said to everybody, the reason I wanted to move into this sort of community is because I needed a community of people. And so I said, what's the community spirit like here? I should not have asked the question because he said there isn't any. everybody keeps to themselves. I went, that's going to have to change because that's why I wanted this. And therefore, they are going to have to change. I'll work on it after. I'll work on it after I have got myself settled in. Then they're worried about the community spirit thing. So then, what was the next thing? How many of you saw the barn doors in my bedroom? I don't know about the rest of you, but I'd seen so many tiny homes with those barn doors in them. And every time I watched them, I thought, I really like those. It's a bit like my kitchen, right? It's like, I really like those. And you love the barn doors. They are a pain. Now, I just want to tell you, very pretty to look at. It ends. Actually, they're not on those big round tracks, the ones I've got. They're on almost regular tracks. And when you've got nails, it's very difficult to find somewhere to grip them, to move them, but they're very pretty. And, as Jody said, it looks like garden and home or whatever, house and home, whatever it is. Are they hard to clean? I have no idea. I haven't got that far yet. I'm sure they will be. But I've got a steamer, so I can just steam them, every now and then. So that'll be all right. Now then, I got to ask you guys a question. When you clean your toilet, and I presume that you do you ever clean the cistern, the tank in which the water sits waiting to go into the toilet? Do any of you lift the lid of that and clean the cistern every now and then? Because I didn't even think twice. I was going to clean the toilet, which I did, and then I lifted the lid of the cistern and nearly threw up. Because I don't think anybody has ever cleaned in that cistern. And it was just like, oh, that's got to change. So I literally got the toilet brush and I'm going scrub, 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 scrub. And I'm going to have to get a smaller brush so that I can clean in there. But I also went out, when I went out yesterday, I went out and got, one of those double tablets where one of it's blue and the other bit's bleach. And it's going in there for a month. I don't like them in the system because they will eventually rot the rubber. But right now it's going in until I got that thing clean. Yeah, I think, like me, I appreciate when it's clean. The other thing is it's got really nice white tile floors in both the bathrooms, which works really well unless you happen to be 72 and only have one bath mat with you. Because, there's nothing like a skating rink of pure white tile and wet feet. It's a deadly combination. Just ask Farmer, right? And so it's like, not fun. So I literally sort of come out of the shower and I shuffle. I shuffle with my bath mat, which of course doesn't want to move because it's got rubber at the bottom, so it doesn't move. And I forgot to bring up an extra one. Jody, could you put that on the reminder list? Get the other bath mats. I need them all here. Okay. What else have I got? Wonder what that says. I can't read my own writing. It's pretty bad, isn't it? Got some glasses here. What the heck was that? No, I have no idea. Oh, you'll love this one. For 20 years, For 20 years, I have lived on the second floor of a building where the only people that can see into me be the birds and maybe Spider-Man if he happens to be in the district. You know, because I've been at a level, and that's all I looked out on was trees. For any of you who ever saw out of my windows, what I looked at was trees. So this is important because I had this 16 and a half foot long bedroom. And then at the end of it was my bathroom. So if I went to the bathroom, nobody was going to be able to see in there. So I never closed the bathroom door. Get the idea? So, of course, I move in here. And, you know, 20 years of habit is a terrible thing, people. You don't realize how many habits you have until you move. So here I am, and I'm sitting on the john, and I look up and I realize I can see my next door neighbor's mirror window of two of them, one from the laundry room and one from her kitchen. And I'm thinking, I hope she wasn't in either of those rooms. And I must have done it about 3 times. I'm getting it now. And as soon as I can find it somewhere in all my packing, I've got that frosted paper, not paper, it's like cling wrap, but it's frosted, and you can put it on your windows. And yeah, it's going on my windows. Not that I want to be unsociable. It's just like, I don't want to have to keep thinking about the neighbor every time I want to go to the washroom. And I'm just not in the habit of closing the door. Very unfortunate. I wish I could read what this other thing is. Oh, it'll come to me another day and I will tell you the story. So, nice one, Nada. So the good news is, Nana, as far as I can see, the weather forecast is rain. You know, I know that I'll be muttering that it's raining and I can't move in the rain. It's difficult to move in the rain, but I want to tell you, when I went back to my house, other house, today, I opened the door and there was this much snow, and I'm wearing runners and no socks. And I went, I don't have a choice. How is Yvonne feeling? She's going to miss you, says Pat. Well, I got news for you, Pat. Tears in my eyes. We're not doing well with that. Right? We're definitely not doing well with that. Yeah, Nana's saying try crutches in this mess. Yeah, you know, I was watching a guy today, Nana, who was walking down the sidewalk, icy sidewalk with crutches. So I hear your pain. It's, you know, it's so difficult. Yvonne and I have been through hell and back, you know, over 20 years. And hi there, Ramilla. I've never heard that name. Ramilla, what a wonderful name. Hi, sweetie. And we've got viewers close to you. Well, you know, Taz is fairly close. It's probably closer than a lot of people. How are the Sunday dinners going to work? Pat's asking. You know something? I also wonder about that. You know, for the short term, I am probably not going to be doing Sunday dinners. But then I'm pretty sure that I will. At the moment, it's really inconvenient. Well, that's a bad word to use. As you know, Papa is not doing well. So it's not like they can come visit, and he gets grouchy if people come to visit them. So, you know, probably for the short term, I won't be doing the Sunday dinners. But, you know, as time goes on, I'm sure that we will be doing them again. Or I will find people that I can cook Sunday dinner for here. You know, I'm pretty sure that's a possibility. Part of you are going to become a community, whether you like it or not. program. Now, they do have a social group that meets, say group, I saw two people, that meet on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to have to learn to get up just so I can meet them and make sure I know, what the scene is, because I got a lot of learning to do. And it's all the changes. I cannot tell you, I'd love to tell you that it's been easy, but I'd be not true on that one. There have been a number of times where I literally stood here and I went, I paid how much for this? And then I went, Sal, don't go there. Don't do that to yourself. You have got, as Jody reminded me, and it's thank you, Jody, for that. I said what I want for the next 10 years. I want light, I want space, and I want a really nice kitchen. And I've got all of those. And so these little hiccups along the way, I don't care what house I bought, I would have problems. Maybe I'd even have Mickey and Minnie, I don't know. But I am in a rural area. I've got to be quite pragmatic about this. I am in a rural area, and the temperature did drop to -12. Those poor little things were probably freezing and starving, and they would have gone wherever they could to find food. So what do you mean help you fill in on everything? Nana, just so I understand. I know that you helped her a lot, but do you mean that she was helping you a lot as well? Right, so Pat is saying, you see, it's, yeah, and you know something, Pat, I really started to think, being a camper, I know about some of these things, and I'm going, that temperature plummeted down to -12, which was 10 degrees Fahrenheit. And those little things, where are they going to go? Well, Nana, this is the whole thing, right? She helped you every day because she loved you and you loved her. It was a two-way trade. And the main thing is you will never replace her any more than I will ever be able to replace Yvonne. And, nor would I want to. But, the thing is, Nana, but you can make other really close friends if you want to. You normally get one or two. Yeah, that's why I was saying, I don't know whether I saw Mickey twice or whether Minnie came to check out the place after Mickey went back and said, hey, I found a nice warm place. Right. So Nana's saying that she introduced Nana. Nana's in a community setting as well. And she's saying that she told me all about everybody and dragged her kicking and screaming until she got to know everyone. I'm going to have to do the same thing, whether I want to or not, and whether they want me to or not. When I went to have a look, Pat, if you take this as an upspout from the crawl space below into the bathroom, there is like a gap all the way around this big in the bathrooms. And guess how much cold air is coming up? So all that needs to be plugged. And I'm thinking I need to go to Home Depot or something and get that squirty stuff. That foam. They go, and then it just fills in all the gaps. I was talking to Marnie about Mickey and Minnie, and Marnie was giving me all sorts of incredible things that you can get that are non-toxic, that will deter them. I also am waiting to see whether my motion sensor lights are deterring them at all. Do they have a nice RIC center at the? Yeah, there is a RIC center, but I don't think they do many things in it. I get a feeling that they only have about a couple of things a year where they have a potluck type thing. Steel wool is what I heard as well. And that's what I've told the landlord to bring with him tomorrow. Please bring steel wool that we can plug all these holes. Oh, isn't that interesting? Nana's saying, funny thing with the snow, I keep having this urge to go shovel a path for little Joe to go pee. And little Joe's been gone how long, Nana? About 5 years? Yeah, and you know something really weird today? You know, after I did this morning's broadcast, I went to the other house. I did an hour of power packing and came back, unpacked everything, brought it into the house, then unpacked it. And I was walking from the kitchen. I'm looking where I was walking between the kitchen to the bedroom. And you know, for the first time in years, I thought I could really do with a cigarette now. And I went, no, no, no. And get a grip, because you've got a lot worse coming. You know, when the big move happens and you end up with boxes coming out of your gazoos, that's when you're really going to feel you want a cigarette. And, you know, it's not going to happen. Yeah, exactly, Nada. That's what I said. You know, and you probably saw me put up the notice, and it's 7 years since I quit. It's amazing. I can't believe. Yeah, and so there are a lot of other things I can do other than have a cigarette, like sit down and relax, maybe, you know. I'm in the honeymoon now, the honeymoon period in my house. Do you know, Pat, you know what it's like when you spend a week in the trailer and then you go home and you wonder, why have I got so much stuff in the house? I can live a whole week out there in the trailer with next to nothing. I know that I'm sort of used to, I'm used to this space now. And by the time all my furniture comes in, it's going to seem smaller. And that's what I'm looking at. So, you know, but we'll see. I don't think change is easy for anybody, right? It's not just me. So I'm just looking at it that, you know, it's all part of a new learning for me. It's part of getting out of my comfort zone and doing what needs to be done to start the next phase of my life. And I really, you know, I'm looking forward to the spring, and I am glad that I am here now and that I can get a lot of the unpacking done before the spring comes. Yet it takes time. It's going to take me a year, you know, to really work out where everything is. At the moment, it's wonderful. You know, I can put things in drawers because there's so many drawers and I've got nothing here. And it's so spacious. And I'm going, any minute now, that's not going to feel the same way. I may have to lose. I rather like this setup, though, with the computer in the cupboard. What do you think? It's a double cupboard. I can block you out. How many of you remember laughing? Oh, I should start the broadcast like that. Have I got my countdown started? Yeah, absolutely laughing. Yeah, can you remember laughing? That's what it looks like, doesn't it? Goldie Horn. Yes, we've got the countdown to the move. Do you want the countdown to when I move, or the countdown to when I am totally own the place? Yeah, can any of you understand? By the time I'd seen Mickey and Minnie and a few other things, you know, like I couldn't get the washing machine to work properly, and I'm going, I could still get out, you know. Can any of you understand that my mind might go there? It was like, how much would it cost me if I got out of this right now? I'm going, well, I'd lose the deposit. But then I'd also, you know, and I'm going, Sal, stop doing that. I own the place on February the 13th. I move the furniture on the 8th. So that'll give me a week to get my place clean. Okay, and I don't know what that means, Kimmy. So try it another way so a dumb person like myself can understand it, please. So I own it. I own it on the 13th. All the paperwork and the money exchanges hands on the 13th. Bill will be waiting for the tulips that aren't here, but maybe next year. All right. I will, you know, I could have dug them up, Pat, but it's not who I am. Right. And I will try and probably, you know, and if I buy them, it's too late to plant them anyway. But did Bill see the tiered garden I've got at the back? I'm going to have a little herb garden. You know, at the front, I will plant some stuff that people want to look at. And by the way, if you've seen the front, it's got this big area at the front that isn't lawn, it is wood chips. And I want to turn that into a rose garden. That's okay. Yes, Kimmy, I've had Mickey come to visit me. And then the next day I had either Mickey come for a second visit or Minnie. I'm not quite sure. So that's what I want to do with the front. And I want to say to my friends, you know, if you want to come visit and bring me a housewarming thing, because some of them are going to want to do that, you know, wait until the spring and bring me a rose tree, you know, or a rose bush or something, because I would love to turn the front into a rose garden because I do love roses. And maybe peonies. I love peonies. So I'll say, you know, either peonies or roses. And, you know, then I can put people's names on them and, you know, water them and talk to them. If they don't come and visit me, I'll still be able to go visit them. And I know the other question you're all probably thinking about is, you know, am I going to get another dog? I've been looking at the property. It's been a bit difficult with the snow, people, but I've been looking at the property, and I don't think it would be a major problem to fence it in enough to have a puppy. But I really need to have the spring to have a look at it and see how much fencing would I need, and also to find out the rules about that. You know, when you're in a new place, they got funny rules about things, so I would need to check that out. People have got dogs here because I've seen them walking them. Did you guys see the snow removal guy? I was surprised to see that. Now, the other thing was I didn't bring it with me today, which was a bit stupid. But I was looking at the fact that people were really struggling to clear their driveways. And I'm going, I could be renting out my snow shovel to people. You know, I've got one of those electronic type, what do you call it? Snow blowers. Yeah, snow blower. That's the word. But mine's like a vacuum cleaner, you know, and you just push it like a vacuum cleaner and it blows snow. It's light and it's easy and it handles British Columbia snow beautifully. So what I will do by next year, I'll be all set up. And everybody's going to know that I've got one. And if you'd like to borrow it, donations will be gratefully received. You know, because I think I could get it to pay for itself without any problem at all. So, and there are people here that look like they might need somebody to do that for them. Good exercise, right? But I just don't have it or the long extensions and everything. I'll be ready for next year. It's not really, I'm not really ready right now. You know, one of the things I need at the moment is my stud finder. I got 3. You can probably imagine I've got 3. But where? Yeah, I know they're in the garage and I know they're in the boxes that I packed originally. But where? So I'm learning to just go, it doesn't really matter that much, so. And if you need a fourth stud finder, go get one. Because really, in the long run, it's going to be a lot less stressful. Any other questions? Just so that I've got all the questions answered. I really have to say, I wanted to give you a sense of how big the kitchen is. It's not as... Okay, it's about 3 strides to here. And about 4 to the cupboards there. But amazing space. Underneath here, big quartz countertop, which goes all the way around, right? And this countertop, as I think you probably saw, I want to give you a sense of how wide that is. So this is yay big. Yeah, that's big. Jody, I thought this was a perfect place to do the the leg lifts because I've got support on both sides. So that becomes the exercise room. Am I going to have a house tour? When am I going to have a house tour? Hi there, Beth. How are you doing? Ugh. Wow, that sounds horrible, Beth. I'm not even going to repeat it because that is horrible. I'm sorry to hear that happened. The house tour, I really, what I'm planning to do, Kimmy, is that I will probably do a broadcast from each of the rooms as they start to get set up. Would that help? So that you can get a sense of the different rooms. I don't think I'll do one from the laundry, if that's okay with you. But I was thinking, I'll do one from the dining room once I've got that set up. Cooking with Mama Sal. Yeah, I already did one. How many of you saw that I did my omelette one? It does do great omelets. I've got to tell you, got the best omelets I've ever cooked on that thing. Yes, but what we want is a name for the crepe machine. And Jody came up. For those of you who are new to my shenanigans, I've got a halogen oven that's going to be coming out again. And, that's called Hal because it's Sal and Hal are cooking together. But Jody suggested Alexandra the Crepe. So we will call it Alexander. I thought that was quite a good name. But I want to tell you that I use it for all sorts of things, not just crepes. So I don't know if any of you have ever watched some of these YouTubers and you're looking at their kitchen and going, I just want a kitchen like that. Well, here's the thing. I kept watching those kitchens and going, I want a kitchen like that. And guess what? Now I've got one. And I think I'm going to have more light than I know what to do with in about 3 months. And by summer, I'm probably going to be saying, I need blocking curtains. So if you've got any more questions that I can answer right now, just go ahead and ask them. And how do you feel about the fact that I am standing and doing a broadcast? Does that feel okay with you guys? Because I just think this is the perfect place to do it at the moment, and probably will stay the perfect place because it feels so comfortable to me for some reason. And all the research that I've been doing says that standing more, I don't, I read somewhere, how many of you know about boot camp? And one of the things they do on boot camp is they do not let the cadets or the intern, whatever they call them, the soldiers, go near their bedrooms all day. All right. They make them stand and do stuff, with the exception of sitting down to eat. They are standing and doing stuff all day long. So by the time they go back to their bedrooms, they are so exhausted, they go straight to bed and straight to sleep. I find that since I've been here standing, because, that's what I've been doing, I have put in, obviously, a lot more steps. I'm almost doubled my steps since I've been here, but that's because I am moving stuff around. But not only that, I find just standing helps me move more. You're not sort of sitting and you get comfortable and you think, I should get up, but I can't be bothered. I think I'll lie down. It's like, because you are up, the metabolism seems to be higher. That's what it feels like. I forgot to bring my scale with me. Maybe we should add that to the list as well, Jody. That there's something about standing. The only problem is my feet are badly swollen. They're quite ugly. So I've got to work on that, get that fixed. Right, it's interesting. Netta says it's all right standing, but it strangely makes me feel harder to relax. But I will adjust. The thing that I keep a track of all the time is, how is my resting heart rate? Right, that's what I'm looking at. Excuse me. Whether I'm up and downstairs at the other house packing boxes, what I'm inclined to do is get all the boxes lined up at the top of the stairs, and then I pack, this is my cleaning equipment box, this is my clothing box, this is my, and I have different categories, and I just fill them up. Each time I go there, I fill another box up of each. And so what I found is, then I need to take all those boxes downstairs. Then I need to take them to the car and pack the car. Then I drive, and then I come here. I unpack the car, get everything into the house, and then unpack those boxes. And I want to tell you, one carload is just about enough. You've got compression socks. You know something? I picked up my compression socks today and I put them down again. Yeah, Jody, could you make a note, please, to add them to my list? Yes, what a good idea. I really do need to be wearing them at the moment. Thank you, Nada. That's a very good thing. It's so bad that even if I wear regular socks, it's literally cutting into me because my feet are so swollen. But the good news is I'm feeling great. I have no complaints about how I feel. It's just that my feet are pretty ugly. It was Rose who said it first. Okay. You need to get your feet up and use compression socks. Okay, fine. I would, when my bed gets here, I'll be able to put my feet up. At the moment, I don't have the ability to put my feet up very much because I only have 2 pillows with me. And a futon. No couch, so I can put my feet up on the side. Hi, Sakura, good to see you. All right, so here's the thing, Bernice, I am so sorry. Oh, maybe that's what I was trying to read. Yes, it was Bernice I was trying to read. I was busy cleaning in the laundry room when I accidentally did a video call with Bernice. Really clever. Oh, good idea, Nana. Nana's saying I've got a whole bedroom full of those cushions from outside. Good point. I clean forgot about that. Thanks, Nana. Okay, so you can lie on the floor and put your feet up against a wall. That's a very good idea as well. Oh, that is so cute, Bernice. You know, I felt so embarrassed. I'm going, I can't believe I did that. But you were looking wonderful. And of course, as soon as I finished with you, I'm going, I better go and look in the mirror and see how bad it is. Hello. You know I'm going to love this. I can write little notes on here. All right. Hi, Nansha. I was thinking about you today, honey. How are you? Hello, Nansha. You know, funny, I was thinking about you today and wondering how you're doing. The place looks nice because my stuff isn't here yet. I've been trying to find out where I can hang my mugs, and I can't hang them here properly. These cupboards don't allow for the S hooks nicely. I've got to make a plan of some sort. So what I think, it's a very fun cupboard, isn't it? Wow. So the truck driver at your job said, wow, you're a breath of fresh air. What is that supposed to mean? What do you think it means? It means you are cheery when most people are miserable. Beth? You know, this is the whole thing. And that's what the cable guy was saying. You will be amazed how many miserable people there are. Miserable mentality. Do nothing but complain and, you know, do whatever. And yeah, it's a really good thing. A breath of fresh air. I mean, if anybody calls me that, I'm flattered. If they say to me, boy, you're a breath of fresh air, it means you're a really nice change from what I've been dealing with all day. Yeah. So, did any of you see the fireplace? Because I'm thinking that area around the fireplace, I'm going to make my Old English area. You know, that put the hunting horn there and the brass jugs that I've got and the horse brasses and all those sort of things. And then on the wall opposite it, I'm going to put up those comfortable prints that you saw. I used to have them behind me. Oh, Nash just saying, I was thinking about you also. Couldn't make it in at lunchtime. Went by the family and I nearly missed out because I was too tired. I actually slept and forgot. By the way, how, tell me, Nasha, how is your goddaughter? I've been meaning to ask you how that all went. So, you have to go eat, enjoy your food. Enjoy your food. Nice to see you, Nana. And be careful. And for those of you who don't know, Nana is busy struggling at the moment because she has got that Baker's cyst come up on the back of her leg really badly. And she's basically on bed rest if she will behave herself, but apparently she's going to go and eat, which means she's not. Oh, maybe she's just putting the phone down or the laptop down to eat, I hope. Beth saying it's hard to take some people seriously because I get hit on frequently. Yeah, I'm sure you do, Beth, because you are gorgeous. So, I was going to put, oh, you can't see that. I was going to put the mugs at the top there, but it's too high. It's just that much too high for me to be able to get to them. Yeah, I'm going to have some Dear Mama Salt. What I thought I might do, if you can see, there is a little place there where you could put a shelf across, maybe a glass shelf across there, and then I could have some of the mugs up there. So that's good. Hang on a second. That lighting is not really sucky, isn't it? You can do that. I bought pictures in today. I've hung 1, 2, 3, 4. I've hung about 5 pictures. Just at the moment, I put them anywhere. Can you see inside which cupboard, honey? Pick a cupboard. This is in a cupboard. I put the laptop in a cupboard, first of all. All right. So you want to see inside one of the cupboards here behind me? Now, one of the things, do you see there's that little bump right there? Can you see that bump? What I found was when I opened this cupboard, it would go clunk against this wall. So I put a little bit of saran wrap right there. So until I can get the right stuff there. What are we saying here? Oh, I am so sorry to hear that, Bernice. Jody, can we make a note about Bernice's papa has stage 4 colon cancer? I'm really sorry. You know, that's the second person today that's in a bad way. I am really, really sorry to hear that. That's so scary. Wow. No, and you can't go home because you haven't got your green card yet. And they might not let you back in, right? Oh, Lord. It is what it is, Bernice. That's, you know that you would if you could, right? So, big hugs, honey. And we know you well enough to know that your daddy also knows that he wouldn't want you to put yourself at risk. I know that. He would not want you to do that and ruin the rest of your life. And by the way, when my mom passed, I wasn't there. I wasn't with her when she passed. I was here in Canada and she passed in Africa. And I knew that I did everything I could while she was alive to be with her and see her. And I'd fly over there and spend 6 weeks at a time with her. Just because to me, it was more important that I was with her while she was, well. And I said to her, by the way, when you pass, I'm not coming to say goodbye because I'd rather say it to you, not to what's left of you, if that makes sense. Nash just saying, no, I'm not going to put them in this cupboard because I rather like this as my office. I'm starting to put my office things in here. What I'm thinking, let me show you. I'm going to use this as a possible shelf, all right, just so you can see it. I'm thinking about putting a shelf at this height. And what do you think? Oh, am I in the way? Sort of like at this height here. So I think that would work, don't you? Let's see what people think. Yeah, he just wants to talk to you. No, they actually, a tension rod is a good idea, but there is actually a bracket there already, one of those ones where you can. It's not going to come up. One of those ones that clicks in. There is one of those there already. So getting a piece of something, piece of glass, piece of board, that size is easy enough. I'll get them to cut me one. But it'll be an ideal place, and it also will help me with the red and black theme that I've got. I could put a wood, in the suspense. No, put a wood what? Oh, put a wooden shelf? Yeah, I probably will use this melamine stuff. By the way, have you ever been to somebody's house and they've got cupboards and you went, I would love cupboards like that? I saw these, I think they're IKEA ones, but I saw these in somebody's house and I said, I always wanted cupboards like that, and now I've got them. It's so strange. Always wanted a kitchen like that, now I've got one. But I got Mickey and Minnie as well, into the bargain. What can I say? Did any of you understand my comment about that I really felt the difference with the floor being cold? I found out one of the possible reasons. When I was busy doing something at the windows yesterday, I noticed I've got double storm windows. And one of the windows was lifted up, so I only had a single panel, which means that I didn't have the insulation. And that's where I was sitting when I was cold. Yes, Jody, you're right. Now people are going to come and visit me and saying, I want that, I want those cupboards. Have you seen the depth of those drawers? Oh. Yeah, it's like awesome. And these? Yeah. Just love them. And what have I got down here? Plenty of room down there for the halogen. oh, you can't see it. Wait. Can I angle it so you can... Whoops. Diva light went for a bird in there. Okay. See the corner? Always wanted one of those as well. So, a spinning Susie. Yep, and I didn't even know it was in there until I arrived here. Oh, did you see the lights kind of go on? Did you see that? Oh. Those are my motion detectors. To try and scare Minnie and Mickey off a bit. We'll see if it works. I'm not sure that it will. But they're really useful. I've got 1, 2, 3 of them in the kitchen at the moment. And, so if you come walk from the bedroom, what is presently my bedroom, to the kitchen at night, they light it up enough that you can get anything you want from the kitchen. Yeah. And they're really cute. They are small. They're just this size. but they give off an incredible amount of light. Right, good question. The drawer at the moment, I don't want to open it because I think Mickey and Minnie have been in there. So at the moment, I'm just sort of a little bit hesitant. Okay, I was just double checking. You're asking, is a warming drawer or a storage drawer? I think it's storage. I just quickly checked the dials to see if it had one that said warming drawer. No. What is the spinny thing in that corner cupboard? It holds pots and pans and things. Always wanted one of those too. Right, what was the other question? Where did I get the lights from? I believe I got them from Amazon. And if Jody reminds me, I will put a link to them for you on the broadcast notes. Sometimes that takes me 24 hours before I read the follow-up notes and go, oh, I forgot to put the link up, and then I will go do it. So I would say within the next couple of days. And if you keep asking me each broadcast, I'll get upset. And do it. Yeah. As you can see, I haven't got my Keurig here. I've got my old-fashioned coffee maker. And I want to tell you, it does taste completely different. You know, it doesn't taste nearly as good as my Keurig. So any minute now, I'm going to take that one to the other place and bring my Keurig over here so I can enjoy. You might, now nobody asked me, how did I make the latte when all my equipment is in the other house? Nobody wanted to know that. Because you know I did. I made a plan, people. You see, you get one mason jar and you fill it up with about that much milk, and you shake the living day and put the lid back on. Shake the living daylights out of it until you create foam. Take the lid off because you obviously can't put the lid in the microwave, and microwave it for a minute 20. And you will have foamy milk. It works. Jody's just shaking her head. I can see it right now. It definitely works with hot chocolate too, yeah. And you also of course it works, Jody said. Are any of you going, why didn't I think of that? Because you don't like lattes as much as I do. You see, when you really want a latte, it's amazing how creative you can be. You know, that's the interesting thing. When you really want something, that's when you're a creative best. By the way, the top of the oven was horrific as well. I got a lot of the grunge off there, so it's beginning to look a lot better. But it's a huge change for me. It's a little bit lonely. Remember to take the top off. Nasha, don't put the metal in the microwave, right? Take the top and the lid off before you put it in the microwave. I'm sure you know that. So it's gonna, you know, there's part of me is a little bit lonely because I haven't got Yvonne downstairs, and but I talk to her all the time. You know, I'm texting her a lot more than I used to. So, but I think give me a year, you know, and I will have settled a little bit. Any other questions? I would think that the the stress that I am going to go under in the next few weeks will be quite horrific. And I will try and keep as honest as I can. Did I make friends yet? No, I did talk to one person, but I think I need to be sort of in here and a little bit settled before I go around trying to make friends, because the most obvious thing is for, to invite them for coffee or something. At the moment, I've got patio chairs out in minus 12 degrees. So I would just going to wait until I've sort of moved in. Have I met my neighbors yet? I've seen the neighbor on this side, a gentleman, and I believe he's got a wife somewhere, but I've only seen him. And the lady who I hear from the owners on this side, I don't think she's here. How do I get used to being alone? Actually, what worries me is when I had an issue, like I needed to, change something or get something high up or whatever, Wade was downstairs and he would help me. I'm going to have to really think about what am I going to do when I need something done that Wade would normally do for me. So I may have to hire more people to come in and help me. That's a possibility. I want to tell you that I'm really handy. I can see Jody just rolling her eyes. I have got more equipment in my garage than most men would dream of. I have literally had somebody say to me, "You wouldn't by any chance happen to have a router, would you?" And I go, "What size?" He said, "No, a router." And I said, "Yeah, I know, but what size would you like?" Because I've got a Dremel router, a little baby one, or I've got 3 different big ones and all the bits, to do all the fancy stuff. I've got the equipment. And I always said that I spent probably about 10 or so years of my life collecting it all. And you know what I said? So I can play with it when I'm retired. One of the things that I really want to do now is to learn how to do framing of my artwork, because I think that would be a really fun thing for me to learn how to do. I'm going to screw that up, don't you? But it's me. Oh, here's Johnny. So, and I've got jigsaws, and I've got a plain, what do you call them? A table saw. I've got a chop saw. I've got biscuit cutters. I've got all sorts of incredible equipment. The question is, where am I going to put them? Because the shed at the back is smaller than I thought inside, because it's all shelving, and I thought it didn't have shelving in it. So I'm going to struggle with all the boxes. Yeah, me with this cupboard is going to be, I'm going to start leaving you notes, when I will be back soon, But I thought, maybe I could, show you guys, that using this sort of equipment isn't as difficult as it seems. Yeah, the problem, as I said, it's going to take me a while to get that lot set up, because first I have to get rid of the boxes. Or get them packed in. I haven't tested a box because I can't get to the shed because of the snow, and I don't have boots. But I've got to take a couple of boxes over there and see if they fit in the shelves. If they do, then that's pretty good. What I realized, though, is under the, I've got a covered deck, a 29-foot covered deck. I realized that's all crawl space underneath there, so I can put wood and stuff. I just need to have a look. Maybe I will meet Minnie and Mickey again, but I want to have a look under there to see if it's dry. And if it is, then I could store the longer pieces of wood that I've got under there. I've got a step stool. It's not about that. And you know that I've got a number of different step stools. The other thing is what you notice is in a manufactured home, the ceilings are lower. How low are they, Sam? Oh, good question. I'm not going to measure them here because this is where the peaked part of the roof is. I'm going to go to where the craft room is. I'll be right back. Okay, so they are about 6'6". Oh no. Sorry, hang on. Mm. 7'6". Thought that was wrong. Who is Minnie and Mickey? Mice. I have had 2 little mice in my kitchen. Well, might be just Mickey on his own that I've seen twice. So the ceilings are lower. Why did I want to tell you that? There was a reason why I was going to discuss that. What was I talking about? Can't remember. There was a reason why I wanted to tell you about the lower ceilings. Gone. Step stools. Yes, thank you very much, Bernice. You see, how do I live without you? Yeah, so in my other house, to change a light bulb wasn't like this. You know, here, changing this light bulb is not going to be very difficult for me because I can touch up there. So that's not going to be a problem. That is the difference. My other house, the ceilings were much higher. So in order to change a light bulb, I had to go much higher. And Wade never liked it that I was doing that at my age. However, I do have a trick for all of you. What I found, I'll be back. What I found is whenever I need to go up my step stool that doesn't have support sides to it, I take my mop with me. And what I do is I put my mop down and use that as, I tighten it up first, but I use that as a sort of support system. Does that make sense? And then I get up the ladder. And I want to tell you, it works really, really well. The other thing I wanted to say is that in the bedroom, I don't think I need to do some videoing in there. In the bedroom, there is a blind in there and it's coming out of the wall. And one of the conditions on buying the house was that they fixed that. Well, they put your nails, screws in, but the screws have just come out again. So, Jody, what I'm saying is that these are so low that I can change them without even being on a step stool. And that's the same with the ones in what will be the dining room. These are a little bit higher. Yeah. So it's like apple picker, right? Yeah, I'll have to look into those. Be a good idea, because those lights over here, these lights here and these lights over here are the same. They are higher. It is a nice trick and it works. Good idea, Jody. I will put it on my list of things that I need to get. Jody, can you make a note for me to take a video so I can show people the situation? That they're fancy IKEA blinds, but boy, never mind. But I've already worked out what plan B will be, but I need my stud finder before I can do anything to find out where the stud is. You all know what a stud is? It's the vertical, when they build a house, you've got every 6 feet, you've got a vertical. And that vertical is called a stud. And that's where you're meant to put heavy things, should be anchored into the stud. And they haven't. They've just got it in the drywall and the screws are just jumping out. Now, if you haven't got a stud, there's another thing. And I have got them, but, again, where I might have to go and get some more. If this is your wall and you're looking at it sideways on, that's your wall. What you can get is special hooks that go through, and then when they get the other side, they do that little motion. So when you put it this way, it is anchored here and here. Does that make sense? Right, so it can't pull out. So that's, again, something I will probably use in there. So if you take, this is the S hook, it goes in straight, but once it goes in, it releases and then it can't come out again. So that's what it needs. Yes, you can buy special caps that you can put in. It isn't about that. The weight of what it's trying to hold is too much for something in drywall. It needs to have anchor bolts in it, or it needs, my plan B is actually to put a piece of wood there and then attach it, and attach the piece of wood and then attach it to the wood where the wood is properly supported. But you're going to learn all of that as I do these things. I think that there's part of me that goes, I probably will start doing a lot more things because I have to. And if that is the plan for me, I'm a great believer that everything happens for a reason. I'm not sure why I am here in this community. Did any of you see my comment after I went to do the shopping? I'm not joking. I went into the local store to go and get some groceries. And it's a wonderful store. It sells everything from fruit and vegetables, and the fruit and vegetable look really good. And it also had meat and everything. It's a total store that you need. And it's within a couple of blocks of here. But when I was in there, I actually had to stop because it was like I had gone back to the 60s. Men were coming in sort of wearing camo outfits, but all their hair was braided. Do you know what I mean? Willie Nelson would have fitted in beautifully. I just literally stood there and I'm going, I feel like I've gone back 40 years. And it was just like so funny. And I just sort of stood there and went, I don't believe what I'm seeing. So it's pretty rural. And the other thing, and isn't it funny, for the first time I was in a store and a guy passed me by that reeked of cigarette smoke, and I went, yikes, I had forgotten what that smelled like. And I must admit, that is one of my fears about being here, is that maybe people here do smoke, and will I be tempted to go back to doing it? I hope not. I hope that I've got enough awareness of what, yeah, I know that one puff and I'd be smoking again without any doubt at all. And, I don't want to waste 7 years of my life to just do that for the sake of, fitting in. I think, can any of you relate to that? That, if you're sitting with a bunch of people and they all smoke, there's part of you that goes, well, maybe I should have one just to fit in. No, I don't think I need that in my life anymore. Oops. I just lost the screen, people. Where did you go? There you are. All right, so Joji is going to bug me in a minute now to do the countdown, so let me do that. Let me just call it up because I do have my tablet now, which I didn't at lunchtime. And let's do the countdown for you. Hang on a second. Yeah, it's sideways. All right, so let me see what I can find for you. For those of you in the US of A, you have 10 months and 13 days until Thanksgiving. We in Canada only have 8 months and 28 days because we had ours earlier. Easter is only 2 months and 25 days away. Isn't that amazing? Easter. Spring is just 2 months away. It's 61 days away. Daylight savings, we're going to go forward in just 50 days. Isn't it amazing? Mercury is going to go back into retrograde on February the 17th, and some of you know what that's about. Valentine's Day is just 27 days away. So start shopping or making or doing whatever. I have put it, it's interesting, I did put it into the countdown, funny enough. I will own Sunshine Cottage in 24 days. 22 hours, 12 minutes, and 54 seconds. Beth, if she's still out there, I think she said that she has to do that at the next procedure in early March, I think, because she was meant to do it in February, but she got sick. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. So let me know in the comments below or wherever whether this is an okay place for me to broadcast from. I will, as I said, once I get the other rooms set up, I will broadcast from some of them just so that you can get the feel and decide whether this still is the best one. It certainly is it feels very comfortable for me. And I can see that I'm going to set up stuff and, it's got lots of space for me to sort of suddenly show you stuff. You love the fun tablet. Yeah, me too. You like the fireplace? Yes, I definitely think that I would do, a couple of you like the fireplace. And the reason I would do some of the broadcasts there is because that's where the horn will be and the horse grasses. And I know that some of you really like that. But that would mean I'd have to put a desk into that area, and I'll have to look at that. I don't have a desk suitable for putting there. I think if I did put a desk there, it would need to be an old-fashioned roller desk. You know what I mean? To fit in with the other things that I'm going to put there. What happens when the sink is full of dishes? It already is. I will prove it to you, Nana. I just went, let me just put everything in the sink while I do the broadcast. It's going to go in the dishwasher. Beth That is what happens when I've got stuff in the sinks. You don't see it. I want to tell you, when I looked at it, I went, that looks like I've got a perfectly clean kitchen. I like that. Well, thank you, Nana. We love you too, honey. I'm hoping that that your leg, continues to improve. I know it must be very frustrating for you because you're a doer, and it must be very difficult. All right, so Nyasha is saying, I don't know what they're like, but broadcasting should take place in an office space. No, but sometimes you can do it from your phone or your laptop. Yeah, this is my laptop. I've done it. I've done a broadcast with my tablet before now. So what I will do is, it's just the quality is better when I use the laptop. You've wrapped your ankle, so who is a doula? I don't know. The ankle is sore from compensating from your knee. Wow, that really is something. I really heard that thing about the compression socks. I do think that that's what I need to do for my feet. Although trying to get them on is something else. But how much time are you spending in bed, Nana? Because if your ankle is because compensating for your knee, it means you're walking. Yeah, I know what a doula is. So why did you need to know, Kimmy? There must be a good reason why she wants to know, I would think. Well, I'm hoping that you had a couple of smiles. Which story did you like best? Which one of my horror stories made you chuckle? All right, so Nana's saying, and the front of my knee is blown up now as well, right? And the crutches are helping, and I am not walking a lot. Okay, but you are walking. So please be careful. No, I don't think I said that. The cupboard made you chuckle the most. You do know how I'm going to say goodbye, don't you? My problem is I'm trying to work out, how do I press the button and say goodbye at the same time? I'm not quite sure, but I'll work it out. Well, enjoy your pee, Nana. It's, pee for relief is what I say. So I am going to get out of here and get off my feet and put them up on those really great idea about those cushions from outside, Nana. Thank you. And I also will probably take a diuretic tomorrow. I have got them with me, so I might do that, even though I've got people coming. Because I definitely need to get some of the swelling down. Yeah, Mickey was a bit of a shock. Yeah, was for me too. Part of me said that, maybe I'll take my camera with me, but he's so fast that I would never catch him, on camera. Bless his heart, he runs very, very fast. And, they were talking about bringing traps and things, and I actually said to them, let's do the steel wool thing first, right? I would prefer not to be a mass murderer at this stage. I don't know about the rest of you. It's like, if there's a way that I can let God's creatures live, I would prefer it. If they continue to ignore the things that we're trying to do to save their lives, then obviously that's another thing. But, I definitely would prefer to go the humane route if I can. All right, everybody. So this is going to be up goodbye moment. And I'm going to be doing this technically, and then I will close the doors. Hi, Kaz. Yeah, actually now I'll be able to do when I actually start the broadcast. But that's the trouble. I'm going to have to be like this, I think. And then I can press the button here when it's a go, and then hello. Yeah, when you open your cupboard, you're going to think of me. I want you all, when you open your cupboards, to see me there. Hello. Good night from the cupboard. Yes, this is DearMamaSal broadcasting from the cupboard. I could actually even do it from my pantry, but this is just the right. I think this is just the right height, and it's comfortable because I can lean against the countertop, and it works well. So I will see you all on Sunday, if I survive that long, and I hope that I will not have another sighting of Mickey and Minnie and the family, but you'll know if I do. I send you all big hugs, and look after yourselves and one another, and take it easy. You know, I think the biggest message that I have for you about this week that I've had is change is not easy. We know that. But, you know, if you keep your sense of humor and you keep positive, right? All the times I kept saying, I paid how much for these problems? And I'm going, Sal, don't go there. Right? Just keep concentrating on the good stuff. And, you know, winter has not only come, it is now leaving. You know, so look forward to the spring. Look forward to being able to show everybody, you know, how you plant the garden, or, you know, sitting out on the covered deck. You know, Ariana, whatever her name is, the citrus tree, you know, that she survived. I'm hoping you're going to get updates one way or the other. Bless her heart, poor thing. I thought she was fake. All right, I'm out of here, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed the broadcast, and we will see you. Regina, thank you very much, Jody. It's nothing like Jody having to remind me the name of my own tree. Or Regina is exactly the name. Regina, that was why. It rhymed with Regina or Regina. Okay, so I will see you on Sunday. Do you do Fahrenheit or centigrade there, Nyasha? Nyasha saying her nights are so chilly there. Are you doing Fahrenheit or centigrade? And do you know that Pat is about to get 31 inches of snow tonight? That's pretty chilly. And the reason I'm asking is I couldn't believe it. This is the coldest I've ever been in British Columbia. It was -12, which is 10 degrees Fahrenheit here over the last couple of days. And I'm going, I've never seen temperatures like this in British Columbia. But we had them. On that very positive note, I'm going to go and clean up my kitchen again. And then I'm going to get my feet elevated and just take it easy. You think you work in Celsius. Okay, so this is why I'm saying we were -12 Celsius here the last couple of days. It was so bad that my Jeep doors wouldn't open. They were frozen to the Jeep. I couldn't open them. Even though my car was in a carport, so it wasn't out in the complete snow, it was covered. But I couldn't get my car doors open. It was scary. And I kept saying to people, saying to me, well, use your hairdryer. Mm-hmm. And where was my hairdryer? At the other house, and it still is. This is DearMamaSal saying, this is only the beginning of the challenges. Enjoy the journey with me. I'll see you on Sunday. Bye-bye for now.